Coming at you from Scratch at Wolf Studio. It's time again to rage across the internet. Your very favorite Werewolf the Apocalypse podcast. As always, I'm your host, Porter. To my left, the man with the face of 1,000 ghosts, Mr. Daniel Tyson.
Hey, everybody.
Across from me, the sawest of the saw pigs, Mr. Tommy Dixon.
How's it going?
How we doing, gentlemen?
Great.
It's recording day.
It is recording day. You can tell because we're in front of the microphones.
Yes.
I'm in front of one?
Yes.
I thought this was just a contraption.
You open your eyes. There's a
No,
microphone.
I don't want to see what's in front of me.
Gross.
Well, usually the mic's behind him because it's set so far up his ass. But today...
Hey-oh!
Oh.
That was pretty good,
Hey,
actually.
put a bow on that for me.
Hot dog down a hallway, right?
Oh.
All right.
Yikes.
Yikes is right.
Hey, you never have to worry about parking.
No free parking here.
All right.
So off to a good start.
Three doubles go directly to jail.
Oh, okay. Let's, yep. Off the rails already. Got it.
Oh, I love it. That's good. Having some fun.
Always.
So, hey, little business today.
Sure.
Because, we've been,
Neglecting it.
yeah, a little bit.
Well, we had some good entertainment.
Oh, no, yeah,
It
we
was
were,
heavy.
yes. And, had to jump into it, like hell, that last, I think our last recording session, we ran out of time.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You guys have heard that episode already. That was way in the past now. A couple weeks ago.
Yeah, for us it's been quite a few weeks, but it was our last recording session. We had some stuff that was kind of out of order, but time-wise and all that crap, we're going to get back to it, though.
Oh, yeah, we ain't gonna, can't stop, won't stop, might stop. But,
Maybe.
But, a couple announcements first. I mean, the usual stuff. But first, I want to say first, before I forget, because, I've been forgetting for weeks now.
Oops.
Right. We talk about supporting the show. We talk about our Ko-Fi. Links at the website, links at it's places.
It's show notes. Look them up.
Yeah, it's crazy. But, we got the gaming team.
Yeah.
And I keep forgetting to talk about this. I have two people on my Steam that have sent me friend requests.
Okay.
And I haven't responded to them because I don't know who they are. See, here's the thing is I only friend people on the gaming team on Steam.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of the rewards. If someone just randomly sends you a request and we don't know who it is, I mean, not only you, but me as well, Tom as well.
Mm-hmm.
If you are one of those people, let us know. And for future, if you're in the game team or you want to join the game team or whatever, hit us up, let us know who you are so we can confirm those friend requests because I don't friend random people. It's just for you guys. And, I feel bad if there's two people waiting going, well, I want to be part of this game team. But
you don't know who it is.
I don't know who it is. So I don't want to say the names for the same reason.
And I was going to say, so at that point, don't say who it is because...
Yeah, if you've got the pending thing and you're like, what the hell, Porter? Well, now you know what the hell, Porter.
Completely understandable. And again, those tiers, you guys are paying for this right, essentially, and
Well, it's
we
a gift for the
appreciate
donation because
Yes.
the technicality on that's very important.
Good point. Then I rephrase and say the gift for your donations, that's for you, to show our appreciation for it. So, yeah, we just want to know who it is.
Yeah, so we can properly thank you and bring you in the game team.
Yeah.
Also, we had discussed, so let's not pretend like it's a...
Surprise?
Right, that the Guilty Bundle is going to return to that store. The special Christmas price will not return, but we're going to bring the Guilty Bundle back at, we're still going to keep it, 10% off?
Something like that.
But the special Christmas price that's a thing of the past. Maybe a thing of the future, I don't know, but right now...
Yeah, maybe we'll do it again.
And we decided to bring that back.
We've had some interest in it, and the holidays suck for money. Everyone knows that. So if it's something you're still interested in, hit us up, let us know.
Yeah, we got a couple requests, and we talked about it, and so, yeah.
Well, we did the thing with the store, too, remember? When it was 10% off
Which
the store.
still exists.
Yes,
Yes.
that is a good point.
Yeah, it does exist. So first purchase on our store will get you the 10% discount code. Hit us on the Discord because that discount code is in the discount.
Yes.
Or in the store, my apologies.
It's
In
pinned
the Discord.
Yes, it is
Yes.
pinned to the Discord.
Right.
It's in the assembly chat area. It's pinned to the top. That's where you'll find
You
it.
get that promo code, 10% off. It's a one-time purchase. It doesn't have to be your first purchase, but it's a one-time thing.
Yeah.
Fair. I mean, it would make more sense if it was the first time, but
Well, it's up to them, though.
that's true. Yeah, whatever you
You
want to
plan
do.
on, doing a bigger purchase later? Use the code on that one.
So by the time this airs, yeah, there'll be some new stuff in there. I promised, so... I did promise.
At this point, it's like it's every few weeks we got something new, or at least we're looking into.
We can say looking into because that doesn't involve results.
Hey, we also take suggestions because there's some kick-ass sneakers out there.
How about that shit?
Like someone might be wearing them right now. Thanks, Reese.
Thank you so much. It's
It's
badass.
crazy. I love it.
I've been looking into the dice thing again. We talked about that before. And
There has been talks. I know we have a friend who has brought up interest kind of around that.
Behind the scenes, we're coming up with something. So.
Yeah, we're working on it.
that's what I mean. We're looking into it again.
But yeah, we do take requests. If it's something we can make, we can make. There are products that only exist because people say, "Hey, I would like this."
And again, RAI sneakers.
We love it, and thank you for that, by the way. We appreciate all that support. And of course, again, the Ko-Fi, you can support us there. You can do one-time donations if you want, or you can join some of our membership tiers. We got the 4 tiers, bronze to moon silver, what up? And if that's not your thing, hey, we understand. But we would appreciate you spreading the word, because the more people that hear this show, just the better the world is. It helps the show. It helps the person. They can fall in love with werewolf, or they can find out, some advice. Just be like, you listen. So help us out. Spread the word. Spread the love.
Likes, shares, reviews. I know we haven't said that in a long time, but
Billboards.
billboards.
Yeah, you want to put a billboard up? Go ahead.
Yep.
Full permission.
You can do it.
There's a will, there's a way.
RageAcrossTheInternet.com.
.com. All right, guys. What do you say we get to it?
Yeah.
So today, we're doing something we haven't done in a while.
So
It has been a long time.
We have always put out the call to if you have suggestions or ideas for shows. And we always listen. We don't always follow them. We don't always know if we can make a show out of a thing, but we always listen. And there's always the background. We haven't asked for a while. But I did recently for season 3.
Right.
And we got some suggestions.
we got a
At the end of
list.
season 2, we had a lot of stuff to cover, so it got put on the back burner.
That's true. So stuff came in. Junk drawer, everybody. Junk drawer 3.
Is it 3? Maybe 4?
Don't quote us on the number.
Junk drawer X5. Either way, it's time for another Junk Drawer Diaries.
Yeah.
So we got a couple questions, couple talking points in here, and Danny, take it away.
All right. DJ Danny T. First question.
Coming in from who?
Aegis. Aegisandro.
Yep.
He sent a pretty significant list, so we had
Yes.
Yeah, he gave us a big laundry list.
And-
We're gonna try to hit some of those.
yeah, Aegis, thank you for that. Definitely appreciate it. Gonna take a handful of those, see what we can get out of those first. How do you handle the big names in the canon, and how do you use them? Heroes and villains of all the lore. I can start and say that if it wasn't for the podcast, I wouldn't know probably 99% of some of these meta characters.
Mm-hmm.
So when we were playing our games, if Porter's bringing like a meta character in from the lore, at first I had no clue if they were a meta character or not, or something he just made up on his own.
I mean, no, I totally get that.
There is one he put a bow on, though. Made sure we knew who it was.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd bring that up because I should have saw it then, and it was probably because of not knowing the game yet.
Mm-hmm.
But he would show the significance of the character. He would bring up how other people are treating them. You'd get all that background information.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, it was Vic Striker.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, okay.
okay.
There's Vic Striker. I was also thinking True Silver Hills, the Children of Gaia.
Striker's before that one.
Yeah, chronologically in our games, yes, I agree.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The first one he gave us, he put a bow on it, and that was Vic Striker.
And that was the first one I didn't realize was a meta character.
He told us it was.
After the fact. In game, I didn't realize it. Again, it wasn't until this podcast that I started seeing some of these names.
Well, and it's funny.
Actually, no, the first one's Mother Larissa.
I was gonna say is the
good
first
point.
first came Larissa and Fengi.
Yes. And maybe when I'm saying that some of the interactions and stuff were happening, maybe Fengi not so much, but Mother Larissa I should have picked up, but I didn't at the time.
I never did. Again, we didn't read the books.
Right.
Right.
And we've evolved. We've come a long way. But I think to myself, absolutely 100% would it be True Silver Heels.
Well, it's funny. It's because some of these that we're bringing up, some of these names that you guys are dropping, I had certain things in my mind that I wanted to do for them.
Okay.
I mean, Fengi's easy because
Sure.
he's like an 8-year-old in a sugar high. You know, and I like Shaky Mac because he's just a miserable fucking bastard all the time. So he's just shitty and mean, and that's enough.
The rage card's pretty good too.
All right. And speaking of rage card, we transition to Larissa because I love that rage card art so much, and I get so upset whenever I see her drawn any other way because that rage card, she looks like the witch that threw Hansel and Gretel in the oven.
Does.
Yep.
And I love it. And then, like, they make her more realistically, like in W20, and you don't recognize her. You're like, who's this old bitch? And that's supposed to be Mother Larissa. And I'm so bummed out that she doesn't have, like, the pointed nose and the mole.
And the giant mole with the hair off of it.
Yeah, like, I love that aesthetic so hard.
It's a good rage card, too.
But, like I said, I see it now, and because we've evolved, and because of the podcast, and us reading all the fucking time, and I should have picked this up before. When you're seeing some of the interactions between the other NPCs and this character, insert meta character here, depending on how important they are.
Well, yeah, it depends on how important they are, because, you know, Fengi is not Larissa.
Right.
Vic Stryker, I've always liked Vic Stryker. And, like, how I wanted to approach him was I thought about Dr. Loomis for the Halloween franchise.
I can't say anything about it because I never watched them. I'm not a scary movie guy.
Yeah, we're going to help Danny at some point. But,
If he doesn't crap his pants watching them.
Oh,
Halloween,
fuck off.
you're not going to be scared of Halloween.
He gets scared of mice.
Yeah, but we're talking the classic original Halloween. There's nothing scary about that movie today.
There really isn't.
But, you know, I think about Donald Pleasance in that role. You know, because he had Vic Stryker, you know, he did all these amazing things. He loses the wolf, he goes to New England, he becomes this private detective kind of thing. And I just see Donald Pleasance with the cane and everything and the trench coat, and that was
it.
Yeah, that was my inspiration.
So is that like just something you see and you know he's been through some shit?
Oh, he's totally been through some shit. I mean, he's in the back of the Strider's book. Even near the representation you're using of Dr. Loomis, there you go.
You can just see him and know that guy's been through some shit.
Yeah, but if you watch the franchise, you've seen the shit he's been through.
That's also fair.
But that's just the image I had in my head, and that was kind of the feeling I wanted to have for him.
Okay.
You know, at the same time, you know, I've done Gogol in previous iterations, and I loved playing Gogol. I was kind of inspired by General Mathis and Generation Kill. I mean, of course, General Mathis is a real human being, but I'm talking about the portrayal the actor had of him.
Okay.
You know, there was this particular scene in the series Generation Kill where he's sitting around with some of his, you know, higher level subordinates, and he's smelling his hat. He's like, something about this new Kevlar. I don't know if it's the Kevlar or if it's my head. The helmet smells like shit. It was just like a small moment before he was the guy in charge again. Just a, you know, like a little throwaway scene, but I loved it. So, like, I had this vision when I played Gogol, is you had everyone at Camp Apocalypse, got the little war room set up, and, you know, you have all these alphas, and they're all waiting for him to show up, and he shows up, and, you know, everyone sits down, and then you got this one green alpha. He's been here 2 weeks, maybe. He stands up and salutes. And Gogol just kind of chuckles and goes, sit down. Just so amused that the kid would jump up and salute. It was just a little detail where it's like, no, Gogol ain't got time for that shit.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That's hilarious. It's cute that you did it, kids. Sit down.
I appreciate the sentiment, but we got bigger fucking things to worry about right now.
Right. Where on the other hand, someone like the Margrave, who I haven't been able to do in years, but, you know, I've written a couple scenes with the Margrave in it, and how I've handled him was always extremely cordial.
Until a point.
Well, I've never had anyone cross that point.
Okay.
But expectant.
It's very Margrave.
And in the scene, one of the scenes I wrote is he actually showed up for the Silent Howl pack. He showed up in their apartment. He was waiting for them when they got home.
Oh, well, shit.
What did you do?
Yeah, the fucking Margrave's waiting for you.
Oh, he had an offer for them. But it was, oh, you know, gentlemen, it's finally, you know, to see the renowned Silent Howl pack. Doubtless you're on your way to make me a drink. You know, extend your proper hospitalities. I am in your home, after all.
Unannounced, but sure.
Still. Prick. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna do it. Doesn't mean I'm happy about it.
Cordial and friendly, and you will treat me as my station. And I'm expecting that already, and you're late.
To your own house.
Right?
I wouldn't say it out loud, but I definitely think it. How about that? Prick.
But, you know, I think, you know, with that question, it's, you know, who is the meta? Because there's so many meta characters.
So
I mean, there's
many.
the big names.
Right.
And then there's the little names, and I don't slag any character off, because there's a lot of great characters. I mean, thumb your way through Warriors of the Apocalypse, and I mean, it's just a list of the first run of Rage cards, but all those characters are laid out, you know, and I think that's great. But for the bigger ones, you know, I think it's how you have a vision of how you want to handle them. Certainly there are role-playing notes, and there are the backgrounds to help inform.
Right.
But with these larger-than-life personas, Like, I steer away from Albrecht in the first place. I'm not a huge fan of him.
I get it. You have your reasonings, and it's perfectly understandable.
Yeah, in our games, Morning Kill's still in charge. He's not dead yet. We'll get to it.
If we live long enough.
Right. I don't think you should marry those huge meta characters to your individual packs.
No, because the game's not about them.
It takes the spotlight away.
Exactly. I've heard people say, like, well, I don't care about what Albrecht's doing. Well, then that's fine. Let that stuff still happen in the world, because that can inform stuff. For example, again, with Morning Kill. At some point, Morning Kill's going to die.
Right, we know that.
And that is going to change shit for other characters, for NPCs that aren't meta characters that you guys know. It's going to impact the nation, at least in the Americas, at the very least in that area, in that protectorate.
Correct.
Things are going to get handled differently in the nation because of it, so.
Exactly. Like, you don't have to get wrapped up in all that Silver Crown business. It's going on in the background, fine. But other shit is going on because of it. Suddenly there's a power vacuum for a couple weeks. Maybe this Sept of Silver Fangs, for example, does a power play and wants to take some other territory now that there's no one to tell him no.
No, it makes sense. And it only helps and builds on when you keep saying that the game's about us, it doesn't revolve around us.
Yes. The
World's always spinning.
Yep. There's always shit going on, and that shit, even if it doesn't directly affect you guys, could affect something that does affect you guys.
Right.
Now, as far as the villains, let's face it, the biggest name here is Zizek, which is a name that had come up again. and again, I think generally don't use her. She's a dangerous stone.
You're going to kill off the characters.
Yeah.
The only reason you'd be using her is kind of to end things.
Yeah, make her a background character. If you're running an Apocalypse game, certainly use her. Sure.
She's too strong. If you're gonna make your pack go against her, and then you kill her, and then what? You have nothing left.
But realistically, they wouldn't. So have her a voice in the background. Zizek sent us. Or this pack of sparrows your group took out had a message that was supposed to be delivered to her. Or, something that doesn't involve direct contact, because direct contact is a bad idea.
I can see, especially with the bigger names of the villains, that's more of the world revolving and shit's happening in the background. And
yeah, it's too big for you.
All right, well then, next question. What are your favorite characters and why?
Obviously, Xylo.
Xylo kills the foe, rends the heart of the Hatebringer.
Yes.
It's one of mine.
Yes, it is one of yours. Because I just love the way you played him.
Yeah, give the why for everybody.
I don't know if I want to give away too much.
Yeah, I was going to say, careful, because this is a
that's the problem.
Stuff.
It's going to be coming up soon in the postmortem. Soonish. The Vanguard pack. All our elders. I love all of them. They're all so fleshed out so well. They all have their own personalities. And we've grown into them. I think they have respect for us as a pack. And it's just, being around them so much is going to love those characters because we see them day to day and watch them grow.
I'm going to agree with you on that one. Because it's watching us, especially doing the postmortem series, we watch ourselves grow and evolve, and then at the same time as we're doing the series, we look back and we can see how the elders are slowly, I'll make that very clear, gaining that respect for us as members of the nation.
What about those characters make them your favorite? You could talk about a character's personality or those things without giving away major plot points.
I think the differences in how major they are between the entire pack themselves, yet how they can still stay together as a pack. They are all so different.
Well, yeah.
All of them.
The different tribes make it a lot different for them.
Yeah. We'll look at the Thursgeta Fenris as the Jarl, as Xylo. The second in command, the Philodox Octena Kasai Moonwalker.
Huge differences between the two.
It's almost she's more of a badass than he is. Almost. It depends on the situation.
No, I would give Kasai the upper hand. I would.
Again, I would, depending on situation. She is way more intimidating mentally than Xylo. Physically, Xylo is the intimidating. Get 7 foot tall, giant. Yeah. Mentally, she's the most intimidating one in the game to me.
Which he's a thirst too. So it's just like, come on.
That's what yeah, exactly.
But that paints that picture for those two right there. The two biggest in the Sept. And they're vastly different, but we respect the hell out of each of them.
as well as we should. It's the Vanguard pack, and then the
I know
the
there's
elders of
that,
our-
but I'm just,
yes.
of course, there's that aspect of the game. You have to respect your elders, but I'm talking personally. I'm taking Ghost out of this right now. I respect the hell out of them.
I agree. I'm with you on that one.
Like, I'm not even talking my character. I'm talking just me.
And then, other than the elders, I'll go with Jude Thunderfury. And I'm not
shocked you said that one over the other one.
what
Whiplash.
Whiplash. Of course, Whiplash is in
I was gonna say
there.
that was the next words out of his
I
mouth.
know it was. I'm just shocked that
It's
Jude was first.
It's Jude, Whiplash, and Second Remaker. And a lot of it has to do with those three have been there since the very beginning. In game, they're like all so hard on us,
Yeah.
especially Whiplash. Yes, but I look up to all three of them.
I don't say don't look up to them. I do. But
And they've been there since the beginning. So
Ghost
yeah,
has problems with all three of them.
yes, he does. But I think at the same time, I respect those three more than anyone else, excluding the elders.
I was about to say, wait.
No, because we just made our point for the elders, but
See, and obviously one of mine is the kinfolk.
Okay.
Even, why can't I think of his name right now? Holy crap.
Andrew Bookman.
Yeah, Andrew Bookman. One of my favorite NPCs. And he's just a kinfolk. But right from Jump Street. Yeah, I was tied right into that guy.
No,
I
and-
respect him. He's not one of my favorites, but I respect the shit out of him, yeah.
I respect him because of everything he's doing for that sept.
As a kinfolk.
I mean, his background. I mean, it's just because of his background. Everything that he's, what's the word? Let go,
Sacrificed.
sacrifice, yeah. Let go, sacrifice, perfect. Everything he's sacrificed in his life just to protect the sept. Mad respect to that guy.
I agree.
That's why I love him. You don't hear that much out of kinfolk. You really
No,
don't.
you don't. That's true.
It's difficult, but there are so many of these characters, though. It's difficult to do, and we
It's
made
not
that.
just elders, Dox and Dooley. Those two, fucking love them.
I think that's more of a maybe an entertainment kind of thing.
No, they're good characters too. They're fleshed out well.
There's not a character in their entire story that we can't think of that's not fleshed out.
Oh, I gotta think of a couple.
I mean, I did lose one of my favorites early on, Bangarang, but
He's up there in my list too, though.
and that's the thing. These are all personal.
Yes.
These are not meta characters.
Yeah.
It's just proving that Porter's done a great job at these could be meta characters. They're written so well that they could be a meta character in a book.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, I'll say that some of these characters and the descriptions and the backgrounds and the histories of them all are better than some of the meta characters that we've seen in like the tribal books, the backs of the tribe books.
But I mean, that's also where you go. You take the meta characters, and if you are going to use them, like the lower end meta characters, not the high end ones, not the rank 6.
Yeah, well, I'm talking the lower guys.
Yeah, if you take those, you can breathe life into them, give them more backstory, give them more personality, whatever tickles your fancy.
No, definitely. And I mean, for my money, and again, I'm just sticking to the meta stuff because
Yeah,
I don't
because-
feel great about.
we're shilling enough for you, kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't feel right coming out of my mouth. You know, my stuff. I love.
Jude's the best character ever. Done.
Like I mean,
End
yeah,
of
I
show.
wouldn't. I love Bjorn Blood from Stone.
Okay.
That image of that huge fucking arm. And the idea that he's so. I mean, he's more gentle than you'd expect. The time he spends in the Umbra, I love that. I love, again, Shaky Mac is that cantankerous fuck that is just, he is gonna cause trouble, and, like, you're gonna get in his orbit, and it's not gonna be a good time. Or Teeth of Titanium.
That's a cool one. That card. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's a cool card.
It's a cool card.
Glasswalker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He was
Come on.
But he was originally Bloody Teeth of the Red Talons, who got captured.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and experimented on by the technocracy. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I don't know a whole lot about Mage.
Fair.
So they experimented on him, made him like the cyber werewolf Yaru that he is, and he tried to go back to his tribe, and they tried to kill him. Because
Assuredly so.
why are you a robot? And so, of course, the Glasswalkers take him in. Like, I love Mamu, that he's a fucking, of the Red Talons, who's just this crazy fucking loose cannon down in Australia just causing trouble, and that the implication when you get near the end of the canon, going to revise, is that, like, he probably fell to the worm and is wandering the outback murdering people.
Holy shit. I didn't know that.
I never read up on my moves, so.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really cool meta characters that Jackie Gecko. There's no reason for me to like, I just have always liked Jackie Gecko.
It's the name.
It's the name. It's the rage card.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
The name rolls so well off the tongue.
it. Really does.
Let's maybe even, how about like the villain stuff too?
Well, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Zizek,
Okay,
but
how about some of the lowers?
yeah, no, I was about to
How
go.
about the board of directors?
There's wait.
Okay.
Damn it. There's old One Eye who, unless I have my brain has addled, it does these fucking, we're gonna use the word experiments with parts and shit.
Okay.
You know, like living in this junk heap, just doing unsavory shit. There's a level of creep. Hunts in the night.
I think you're a big fan of that one.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, the pure white black spiral dancer that is such a fucking legend that the cubs in the hives take turns playing Hunts in the Night.
Oh, wow.
That's fucking
I need to read up on my villains.
Yeah.
Because I don't know any villain meta characters.
I just remember like being a kid and like, oh, I'm
Yeah, you're like, I'm Donatello.
yeah, I'm gonna be
Raphael.
Donatello, and no, I'm Donatello.
Right. It's like, no, I'm Hunts in the Night.
Right.
Shit. You know, yeah, the board of directors, there's a place for them too. I've always been a fan of Chase Lamont
Okay.
in a way that, like, I kind of want to hit him with my car. And then Catherine Dubois, who I love the fact that she can't lie.
That's what I was thinking of. I was like, I couldn't remember her name. Yeah.
And I think she's my favorite on the board. And
She should fucking be there.
she's got so much screen time, you know, quote unquote, you know, in second edition, which is great. Like, I appreciate that. Some of the board changes kind of bug me, just because it's so frequent that you don't have enough time to really
To get to use them, to
Right,
get
like-
used to them.
right. Like Benjamin Rushing is there, great. But then, like, here's this guy in the next edition, he's gone, and then his replacement's been gone in the next edition, and it's like, fuck, come on, give me some time with them.
Right.
You know, Enzo Giovanni, where is he? He died, then he fucked off, and he unfucked off, and
Unfucked off.
I don't
I don't know.
I'm not even going to ask.
Yeah, I don't know. It's what happens.
We did the Pentex episode
I wasn't there for
way back.
Yeah, the Big P,
The Big P.
parts 1 and 2.
And we talked about the board of directors.
We certainly took that title seriously. No jokes were made.
None
None
whatsoever.
at all.
I just remember how big of a deal the board of directors were for you, and what was the HR chick's name? I don't remember her name.
Catherine Dubois.
Okay, I can't even repeat it. I'm sorry, but you'd look at that and you're like, why the hell is she here? And then she's such a big deal, and it's cool to see.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Yeah, I think that she was a great addition, and I think it's a great. I think the character is a great in. In terms of if you're going to attack her, you know, go after Pentax, if you can get to her,
Oh, okay.
you know, because again, she can't lie. That's part of the deal.
I think we've hovered on meta long enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. All right, then the next question we have: what do you think about dedicated clothing and items? Where's the line between flavor and breaking the game?
Well, you know, I think here's the thing about that is you can flip through any fucking werewolf book you want to. All right, and you're going to see a handful of things. You're going to see proper Krynos, stark raving naked Garu, or some with some minor armaments.
Yeah.
You know, like a ghost shirt or some bracers or something. You're going to see fully clothed Garu, with like a nice sweater vest or, you know, like a hoodie or something. You see those every now and then. You're going to oddly see Krynos with breasts, which, no, that's inaccurate. But I'm going to focus on the first two. For me, I don't think there's a proper answer to that in terms of which is correct, and I'm using the air quotes there. You look at that beautiful character art that we got from Mr. Paul Way of our characters, and like you see that jacket that Danny's character Jaeger has, and if Danny wants that jacket to be there when he's in Krynos to like shift up with him aesthetically, that's fine. It's not the choice I would have made, but it's not going to like grant any extra armor or anything. But if that's the aesthetic choice that in his head he wants because he likes the look of that, there's not a problem with that to me.
As long as it's aesthetically the reason, then
Yeah.
fine. I
It
get
wouldn't
it.
break the game either.
No, certainly not.
Dedicate whatever you want. Really. That's how the right works.
That's true, and I mean there is the renown hit for dedicating too many bullshit items, and I think there's the point there where maybe there should be a penalization. And what I'm saying there is like clothing is one thing, and we're just for shits and grins we're going to take like body armor off the table right now.
Because that would
Understandable.
break the game.
But, like if you're like, oh yeah, I got this charm strap with like a fucking wind chime, clearly that's going to make some noise. Yeah, we're going to penalize you for that. You keep the fucking wind chime off your back. People can hear you.
Or dedicate some earrings that could be pulled when you're in Krynos. Do
Certainly.
damage to you. I mean,
Nah,
stuff that you shouldn't.
right, and I don't think I would hand out damage for someone pulling out a earring that's for some reason still there in Krynos, but I think I might maybe hit them with a rage point, like if someone pulled it.
Oh,
Because I mean, like at that point, unless they're silver earrings, in which case, what the fuck's wrong with you? It's essentially a paper cut in terms of severity of the wound.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't hand damage for that, but maybe a rage point. Because how pissed are you?
oh, very.
Like it still hurts, and now you're mad because your fucking earring's gone. But yeah, I think aesthetically,
Ooh, pull the earring, gouge the eye. By eye.
What the hell?
It's healing one thing first, not the other.
put a chain through all the piercings and just pull it.
Ow!
Yeah, if you dedicated a necklace, ooh, can hang you from it.
I
Well,
can
I'm
see
sure-
if some of those items might be fetishes, though.
Sure, and then I mean that's when you get obviously into like gnosis point costs and all that shit.
Right.
There's-
That's-
I mean,
that's
there's rules for
different.
that.
I think that's getting a little different there. That's fetishes.
Right. So as long as it's an aesthetic thing, it's not like, hey, my beanie gives me +2 soak. No, it doesn't. It's made of fucking cotton. If you want it to grow with you and be a Kratos with a beanie, that's cool. But it's not giving you anything.
I'm trying to picture that now. Just a little weird.
Right?
Is he a wet bandit?
So now just figure the fingerless gloves, man.
Oh yeah, you have to have the whole ensemble now.
Right?
Oh, boy.
Question is, you go Pesci or Stern?
Oh, Pesci.
Pesci.
Yeah, Pesci.
You have
Absolutely
to.
Pesci.
Undeniable at that point.
And again, if I'm going Pesci, I'm going Goodfellas. I'm funny to you? I'm funny? What's funny about me? I'm a clown. I'm here to amuse you? Yeah. I'm Goodfellas Pesci.
That's the best Pesci.
Right? Oh, maybe his rap career. Look that up, people. That's hilarious.
Yes, that exists. I forgot about that.
I did not know that existed.
I swear it exists.
He put out a rap album as My Cousin Vinny.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I'm looking this up later.
And it's like a cross between the My Cousin Vinny character and the Goodfellas
Yeah, I was gonna
character.
say, and the Goodfellas one, yeah. It's like, it's My Cousin Vinny, but if he was a mobster.
It's a fever dream. And you've got to see it.
Yeah.
Because
I was-
he's
I'm happy
not,
that exists in
he's
the world.
not playing it for laughs. He means it.
I'm happy that exists in the world. I'm totally looking that up later.
Oh my god.
But we'll
it's
pull up a
ridiculous.
video after we get done recording.
It's crazy. It's like, what the hell? You'd think it's a joke. Nope.
So we went through that.
Yeah,
If we brought body armor back on the table, obviously that's where you get to breaking the game.
yeah.
I mean, maybe just be careful of it so you don't break the game.
I mean, you're going to dedicate some body armor, but then again, that just takes any Pentex or anybody that has silver bullets out of the equation. Now you have body armor.
Well, and I think it depends on how it's done.
That's what I mean. Just be careful doing it.
If it's a fetish, if we're paying our due diligence,
Fetish is a different story. I'm just talking
Right.
dedicating like a piece of body armor. I'm taking the question literal.
no, I get you. And what I mean, if we're that's not a thing we should play fast and loose with. I mean, again, that's where you if we're crossing our T's and dotting our lowercase J's, then keep it to the letter. Okay. I mean, obviously, if it comes to balance issues as a storyteller, you have the power to make adjustments on the fly. So if you see there's that issue, that there's a problem, well then tweak it a little for now, and then when the game's over, go over and address it.
We've done that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I am notoriously terrible at statting out veins. I have to adjust half of them on the fly.
Oh, yeah.
So they're either
We-
too
we-
strong or too weak.
Yeah, both my fetishes we adjust on the fly.
Yeah.
Well, I was just thinking when he said veins because we had a fight where it's like we just did a shit ton of damage and he wasn't even half dead yet. You just misstatted him.
Oh yeah, no, I did. I fucked up on this. I remember that because I think he hit someone for 36 damage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
And I went, well, that's
Death.
incorrect.
Yep, he hit us for 36, and we already had our 3 turns, kind of thing. It just got lucky that we all 3 went first, and he went last. We did like probably between the 3 of us, I think like 13, 14. He wasn't
Something.
half dead, and then he killed one of us in one hit.
Yeah, 30. It was like 36.
He killed us 3 times over.
And I'm like, well, I'm just going to take 30 off of that, and we're going to call it 6. Roll your soak. I'm not even gonna. We're just going to remove a
How'd you
decimal
have
point.
enough dice?
I had to use some Indian Barrow ground ice.
Yep.
Oh boy!
And
Usually when that
multiple rolls.
happens, that's something
Yeah,
bad.
I realized I made a mistake.
Third dice pool.
Yeah, he had to roll like multiple times for the one turn.
I made a mistake, and I fixed it. I wasn't
Yeah.
gonna let that stand.
Congratulations! Give me your sheet.
Yeah.
Right? I'm gonna put a gold star in it for putting up with this misstated bullshit. Here you go.
I
He
remember that one.
respawns later.
Lightning hit him, and he's smaller now.
He's still strong as fuck, but
Thanks, Grandfather Thunder.
Yeah, right?
all right. So then there's the dedicated clothing and items, and again, be careful if you're doing special
Don't get
fetishes.
fast and loose.
Right. And again, if it's only aesthetic, I don't see the harm.
Yeah, there's no problem if it's aesthetic, but once you get into the armor and the fetish stuff, just keep it careful.
Yeah.
Play careful. Okay. What do you do about absent players for your games?
Kill them. You're not here to say no.
That's a thing.
Yeah, because we have some experience with that part, but how far do we go into it?
I mean, is he saying absent as in like they just missed this day? Like that chapter that day? Or they miss
We can talk about both.
all of it?
Yeah, we'll talk about both.
Talk about both of them.
I won't run without a full house. That's always been my thing. If someone doesn't show, we don't play.
Right. I remember when that happened.
What happened when COVID hit?
Well, that's a different story. We'll go with a couple times someone wasn't going to be there that day. And instead of playing without them, we did some speculation.
One-offs?
That can happen.
Did we do one off that day?
I don't know if we did, but that's something that can happen. You know, when we talk about one-offs, that's something I've done, or at least offered, forever. And it's the idea of something that has happened between stories or while something else was going on.
Behind the scenes kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
behind the scenes thing. It's for character building. It's for just a role-playing opportunity. My rule has always been, you can't move the plot forward in those.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, because I did it. It was...
I've done it too.
Yeah. Something behind the scenes that was happening that we got to play out. I remember yours, you got to talk to your grandfather for a little bit. Me, I was asking advice on how to be a better leader.
Yep.
So who to go to and who to talk to kind of thing. And that was all
You
character
took that to
development.
heart.
And I mean, it can be other stuff too.
Did you say heart or hard?
We'll see.
Go fuck
We'll see. You know, I know in Virginia games, we'd call it overtime also.
Okay.
That was a thing, as, you know, I'd be done with the story's over, but they're not done role-playing.
Yeah.
So we'll do overtime, and you would get shit like, the rule is you can't leave the sept. But sometimes we would bend that rule, like, you know, we're going to go to Applebee's, fine. You're not running into Zizek at Applebee's. You know, there's no combat. We're not rolling dice. But, you know, like, I remember there was the story where Shrouded Claw taught Vadoma Amen how to drive.
Oh.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, a
She's-
good way to explain the dots and drive.
Right. She's never driven a car before, so help me learn how to drive a car. Or I want to learn to drive stick. This is where she can learn.
Manual, but sure.
Thank you, Henry Ford.
I get it. It
yeah.
helps with character development.
Yeah, you know, you put a point in, you know, you want to learn pickpocketing, and you've got that point in larceny. Well, here, this is where you learned it. You're
Perfect.
walking Times Square, trying to grift tourists.
That's a cool idea.
Just little stuff that you can do that as a group and do maybe little vignettes with them when someone doesn't show. But I'm not moving the plot if we're missing someone. There's been a couple times, not many, where people have just not shown. It's rare, but it does happen, and it sucks for the rest of the team. But at the same time, it is a team.
Yes.
You know, if something comes up, something comes up. If something comes up 11th hour, emergencies happen. But
I just remember we played, and someone wasn't going to be there that day, so we kind of played catch up. Like, hey, so you know what? Since we can't play, we're not moving the plot forward. Let's just discuss on what has happened so far and see what we can come up with, and any ideas that maybe you missed or that I missed, and then we didn't
Yeah,
think
that
about
was a
it
fun
at the
day,
time.
actually. We went through like 5-6 chapters worth of material and just reviewed it, refreshed it, and talked about it.
that's true, and that worked really well for you guys because the chronicle you guys were on, there was a mystery involved. So it was a great chance for you guys to put your heads together and go, okay, what's at the bottom of this shit?
Right.
Well, we had a hiatus too, so
Yes.
it was our
Yeah.
first game back after like
Very
5-6 months.
Yeah, that was
right.
that was.
And then
cool.
all of a sudden, that other person couldn't be there. So it's okay. What do we do? Well, we need to discuss what's going on.
Yep.
it wasn't fresh in our minds anymore. So that's probably something, at least, that I recommend. The one-offs are a cool idea. Again, don't move your plot forward.
Now, but character build for sure.
Absolutely.
Breathe more life into that character.
Because that shit's important.
Obviously, that breathes more life into whatever NPCs they were reacting to.
Right? You can forge greater bonds or maybe some rivalries with NPCs during that time.
Right.
Develop those character bonds. I think one of the beautiful things about Werewolf, and I mean this is role-playing in general, is that you really do get out what you put in.
Oh, by far.
If you just show up and go, well, here's my dots on a sheet and I'm ready to go, look, maybe you're going to have fun, and congratulations if you do, but you're getting like the bare bones out of it. But when you put that life and that effort into that character, when you can separate them and go, well, what would this guy do in this situation? The answer does not resemble what you would do in that situation.
I think that's such a big part of why I'm still on this first character and have no intent of ever changing it as long as I can help it.
That sucks.
Really?
Yeah.
Why does it suck?
Because it'd be fun to see what new things you can create with the knowledge you have, not being held back by what you've created when you didn't have knowledge.
That's a good point.
I mean, that's your take on it. It doesn't mean I can't use that and help him grow.
Obviously your character's limited to his auspice and his see something else come out of a different
get your
tribe,
point.
different auspice.
Well, we could make that happen easily. I could, theoretically. Mm-hmm. Run a 5-part story with you guys as a different pack somewhere else in the world. And go, hey, look, for the next fucking 5
Just
games.
desserts. I've been wanting to just desserts.
Rank 4 fucking...
I don't care what the rank is. I've just been wanting to just desserts, just to try something else.
And there's nothing wrong with that, with giving, a character to retire for a little bit.
We've talked about that countless times for Ghost.
I'm just so attached to this one, though. It's
You don't think I'm not attached to Ghost?
Right?
Yeah, but you want to try something new. I don't.
I know during the Silent Howl era, we took a break from those characters, except for Sage. You want to keep playing Sage. So then I tweaked the game around him, as he went on Walkabout, and okay, well, this is him fostering a new group of cubs.
Oh, that's totally something he would do.
Yeah, and through that's where Rune Elteron came from. And I actually came up, I haven't brought him up because he hasn't appeared yet, but there's an antagonistic character that also came out of that. It's still around in the world because people wanted to try something new.
And going back on the last question, if you have somebody not show up, well, here's your good time to maybe throw in a mock battle with that new fetish.
Good call.
Your new dedicated stuff, whatever it is, throw in a mock battle. Like, okay, if you don't want to move the plot forward, well, okay, this can happen in the Sept.
That's a good call. Or, we could, as we talked about, trying something different, some different, alternate characters, if it becomes a problem. Now, if it becomes a problem with that player, maybe it's time for that player to go.
But if you're getting multiple,
yeah.
their last
This is a
11th hour,
regular-
they're not coming all the time with poor excuses, it's different.
Right. It's like life happens, but life doesn't happen 11th hour that often. You know if you're going to have to work late. 9 times out of 10. Or you can see it coming. But it's not. The game's at 6, it's 5:45. Oh, I'm not going to make it. Bullshit. You knew at noon you were going to be working late. Don't waste everyone else's time.
I was going to say, be respectful to everyone else's time first.
Yes.
It's a team.
But I do know of some games who will play if someone's missing, and they can write that in. Like, hey, maybe that character was a Strider, and he has, what's that? Not the gimmick, but
You're thinking the merit noted messenger.
Merit, thank you, yes. Noted mess. Hey, he's got somewhere to be real fast, so he can't be part of that game.
And that can work.
But at the same time, still be respectful to the character.
Right. That's not an always solution.
Right.
It's an occasional solution. And, there are people out there who will, like, storyteller play that missing person. I really don't like that solution. Because that's an extra burden on the storyteller.
Yeah, then the person playing the character is not getting whatever growth's happening out of it.
Exactly. And
It can happen is the point.
It can.
But I think as long as you're respectful about it,
Or
it's
you
probably
just-
a little bit more difficult to do.
And we'll do this from personal for me. You could take the route that I did. I had to drop out for a Chronicle. Personal things came up. I could not play. So we wrote away my character for a Chronicle. He went and fucked off somewhere.
Yep.
He has he came back and he has a full backstory on what happened on his time away.
Because that shit's important.
Because, the world's still going.
Yep.
Because you
So
were
the pack-
able to come back.
Yeah, the pack continued on. I didn't know at the time if I was able to come back, but the pack continued on, and I didn't write my character off. Just he went away.
So we didn't give up on you.
Right.
And now you're on the podcast.
Weird.
I love that shit, huh? I wasn't personally going to bring it up. I figured if you were comfortable enough doing it, you
Oh,
were
I'm
going to
fine
bring it
with
up. Okay, that's fair. You had to go away for a while. And the thing is, yeah, that Chronicle went forward without him, but it didn't go that much forward.
No, but there were other circumstances, plot related, that helped with that.
Right.
Which
And that's what I was hoping you'd bring
this
up.
is where post-mortem stuff we don't want it too much.
Exactly, and that's kind of why I'm leaning on you to
But
maybe bring that
there
part
were
up.
there were plot reasons that helped facilitate
Yes.
that time shift.
So things happened during Tom's little hiatus, and the game still went on. It was just not too forward.
Yeah, we didn't get a whole lot done, but that's okay.
I mean, if I was gone longer, you might have.
That's true.
It was a lot of character development, though.
Yes, there was.
It was almost like Tom's not going to be here for a while. We need to hold off, but we still want to play. So it was a lot of character development.
And that's also our own personal, what happened to us. Just trying to speculate, so outside of that, this person can't come back for 3 Chronicles.
Yeah, I mean,
The plot's going to move forward. It's just
Right.
you're going to have to write all whatever happened. If he's going to come back in 3 Chronicles, you're going to have to write everything that character did for 3 Chronicles.
certainly, but better to at that point write them off knowing that, and maybe if you work some on the side, discuss that. That can be fun. We talked about again with people not being able to be there and alternatives. I had a game. I killed off a pack of NPCs in Virginia.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We actually this is actually a case of one more person and not one less, but it can still work.
Okay.
Is we knew we were having a guest. One of our players had a brother coming into town.
Wanted to be part of it?
He wanted to
Give it a
he
shot?
wanted to give it a shot. You know, like I knew the brother. They, we got along real well. So it was like, oh, this is a good fit. He wants to try. He might be moving back here. So what I did was I wrote, and I actually called it postmortem. I wrote a story which was the last adventure of that pack before they were murdered.
Oh, so did they play that
Yes.
back? No.
So
Okay,
everyone
that's
sat
exactly
down,
what I was thinking
and
of.
I handed out character sheets. You're this pack today, and in the sheets in the bio section, I wrote the character notes so everyone knew kind of their motivation, where their headspace should be. I mean, they knew those characters, but even for the new guy, he got it
Cool.
by reading that. So that's something you could do too, with something a one-off kind of special thing. So you don't have to worry about the plot with someone missing. There's not a quote game, but there's still a game. There's still a treat for everyone who did show up and put in the time.
That's cool.
It's a one-off still. I mean,
Yeah, I mean it's still a one-off.
Still
but-
a one-off.
It's just the opposite of, yeah. So how did that player take it? The extra player who,
Oh, he really enjoyed it.
that's awesome.
Nothing came of it. If I don't know if I moved before he moved back. If he moved back, I don't know.
Okay. Well, I hope he was into it so much that he was able to play again, whether it be with a different storyteller or what, but
Yeah, it'd be great if he got into it. He had fun.
that's awesome. That's good to hear. Don't
And
hear
the,
that often.
The rest of it was pretty bittersweet.
Oh, yeah. You get
Closure.
to- were they close with that pack?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
That probably was really awesome to play that pack, but also, like, knowing it was their impending doom, that's gotta hurt.
Right.
You son of a bitch.
I thought it was a nice thing to do, to give him a little send off.
It is. It's also a jerk move to do.
Well, it's World of Darkness. Suck it. I don't know what you want from me.
Here, go play your favorite NPCs.
Your dead friends.
Go play your dead friends. The last thing they ever do.
Right?
I'd do it.
Actually, you like Jane here. You can play as her. She'll be dead in 2 days. Here you go.
What if you get the sheet for one of the persons in the Vanguard pack? You'd totally do it.
Oh, we absolutely would do it.
See?
I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. I'm just saying it. Yeah, bittersweet is not even close to what it should be.
It was neat, though, because you knew they survived the encounter, because that's not how they died.
Oh,
So I got to have some fun. I put them against the first Ronin.
nice.
It was like a grudge match. Like it was them, the first Ronin, and then the Jersey Devil. Because I could.
Well, yeah, why not?
It's like a just desserts. I mean, yeah. Just
Why not?
desserts for you.
Yeah, why not's a better question than why.
If there's ever a chance to use the first Ronin, it's one where your characters have plot armor because they're going to die after that.
Then I guess I can kind of transition to the next one is how do you deal with a death of a character?
Lots of crying.
I guess it depends on if it's your own character or if it's an NPC.
I was going to say, that's two different things.
Oh, it's very easily two different answers.
Still crying if it's any NPCs that we're really close with.
It just means they've made that much of an impact.
Well, and it is, as a storyteller, it's super rewarding to get that kind of reaction. Because, I mean, that means, you as players and as characters have bonded, that much with something as a storyteller that I've created. It's a huge compliment.
Thanks for making me cry, you prick.
Welcome. But, you know, that's not the question. A character death is a rough thing.
I can only imagine. I'm going to have a very hard time the day it happens.
Kill him.
You know, it's almost inevitable.
I know, but that's the problem.
Right. You spend all that time and you get attached, and when that character's gone, I mean, there's a lot of ways you can react. And there's a lot of situations that can bring it about.
Oh, sure. Time for a new character.
Yeah, and so is it something you've planned? Well, then maybe you can facilitate a proper end for that person.
Mm-hmm.
If you say, I don't want to play Jaeger anymore, I go, okay, we'll start working on your next character. And while you're working on your next character and playing your last however many games as Jaeger, I can plot
what's going to happen.
Right. You know, what's going to be the right end. But that's not usually how it goes. Usually it's the heat of the moment, the roll of the dice.
And in battle, because it can very easily happen in the world of darkness.
Yeah. At that point, my advice to the player, if it's time for your character, you know, it just happens that way. You know, you get your final rage roll. Maybe you saved yourself. Let's pretend you didn't, because that's what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Take a deep breath. Take a few moments. No storyteller delights in killing a character.
Or shouldn't.
If they do, that's
a
different story.
That's probably not a game you're going to be in for very long because of what's going on there.
I'm just saying I've heard of it happening.
I've heard a few stories here and there too. Sometimes, and that's a different thing too.
Right.
But I don't know any storytellers that delight in that. Our friend Melissa the other day, she was telling me she almost had to kill two characters because of her rolls were that good, their rolls were that poor. It almost went down to it. And it wasn't like, yay, I got to kill some people. It was like, oof, that was close. Mm-hmm. As a storyteller, we want the story to go on. So, like, look, if it happens, no one's cheering about it probably. And if they are, there's a glitch in that system there.
That's what we'll call it.
For whatever reason, there's
time,
a problem.
You're also the storyteller. You have that golden rule. If you have to fudge those numbers,
sure, but if
shit, this roll killed him, but I need him for this next scene. So maybe it almost killed him.
And it's a
fine line to walk.
Yes, it's a power that the storyteller has. It's a decision the storyteller can make. But if that's what you're doing every time, then the game becomes meaningless. If you can't lose, there's no consequences. I mean, that can be bad. So, you know, if the day comes for you as a player, excuse yourself. Because now you're not disrupting play. Clearly, you're dead. Mm-hmm. If you're... Like, I mean, I hate to say it.
I know, it's funny. I try to laugh, so it's a little...
You know, I know.
Yeah.
But, like, if you're upset about it, you know, excuse yourself, take a few moments, and then when the game's over, when that session's over, well, now we work on the next step. Just because your character died doesn't mean you're out of the fucking game. It just means, unfortunately, that character is out of the game.
Maybe build a new one.
Well, I mean, that would be the goal, is to get started on the next one, and maybe you want to take a few sessions to come to terms with it or whatever. Ideally, your storyteller will give a proper send-off even after the fact. You know, a nice funeral, burial rites, things like that.
I can see that. Especially for my character, I would hope. It's like...
I'm digging a hole and you're going right there.
Fuck you. I was thinking the Viking funeral.
Collect the ashes in a dustbuster.
The Big Lebowski. Goes and throws him off the cliff.
Yeah.
I get blown back into his face.
Now, if it's an NPC, I guess the tables turn on that because there's a level of, hopefully, there's the reaction from the players. But as a storyteller, you get all of the control in that.
Oh yeah.
And how they die and what it means, if it means anything. Is there a lesson in there?
I hope so.
But sometimes you just don't come back, and even that it can be the lesson. In my Virginia games, early on in them, I got the sense that the players were feeling a little too invincible. So I didn't kill anybody. But what I did is I had the pack they kind of looked up to, which was the Rabies and Chains, come back from a mission all sorts of fucked up.
Make it put them into a serious perspective.
Right. That, oh, these guys barely came back from this mission. Maybe we're not invincible.
Okay. I see why.
Just don't do it.
Just don't
Just
kill
don't
anybody.
die.
Oh,
Just don't
Just
die.
will your way out of it.
Yeah, just soak it.
Yeah.
You can soak it.
Yeah, just...
You can't soak everything.
You're not God.
That's what she said.
You can't tell me what to do. I can soak it.
What the hell?
You know, I hear the RA I Can Soak It t-shirts actually add +1 to your soak.
I knew it!
If they're dedicated, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Nice.
Look at what we just did.
I like that. That was a good call.
I think Ghost is going to get a new T-shirt.
Tom, anything from you?
Don't die.
Just don't die, huh?
Just don't die.
Just work
Do
really
your- do
hard
your
and not
best.
die.
Sage advice.
When you're building that character, make sure you get lucky.
Yeah, that's a hell of a
Seriously,
merit.
because Ghost should have died 4 times.
That's a hell of a merit, yeah.
It helps.
Dude, seriously, I'm not kidding. Ghost should have died 4 times. I've luckied my way out of death 4 times.
I haven't counted.
It's up
apparently.
there.
I have done, I think, 2 death rolls.
Oh, the rage death roll, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Did they?
No, everyone survived. I think one happened here, didn't it?
No one's gone through a death roll.
I
yet.
luckied my way out of that. You were ready for it, though.
Oh, okay.
I was
That's
gonna
what I
say
was
that might be
thinking.
one of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
I had 1 lucky left in the chamber, and I debated.
Those have come in handy. Yes.
That's good advice. Danny, what else we got?
The next one was how about an intro into speaking the Garu tongue?
Well, the Garu tongue is a tricky thing.
Yeah, can be.
But it doesn't have to be. Here's the thing. When you're in Lupus and you're speaking, it's the Garu tongue. It's implied.
Yes.
It's not a Scooby-Doo scenario. Your Lupus isn't like Rut-Road eyes. The worm's right rare. That's not
Say it again.
Rut-Road guys. The worm's right rare. Rip rash.
Oh,
It's nice.
Thank you. Work out, Rip rash.
Ryro.
We could do that for
Oh,
That could be the whole episode. Here's
Really?
our Garu tongue.
Don't challenge that. We
Yeah. Don't talk like Scooby-Doo.
No. So obviously it's an easy shortcut to just speak normally. But what's really going on, like in game, is the Garu tongue is a series of like growls and clicks and body language.
That the others just
Instinctively
instinctively
know. Yes.
know and understand.
So the problem is we don't speak the Garu tongue. And that's not a class you can take in high school.
And hence why Lupus are so hard to play.
It's
one of the
it's
reasons.
part of it. So I say you cut out the middleman and just speak normally with the understanding that it's the Garu tongue because everyone can instinctively understand that.
Yeah, it's less for people to sit there and try and sift and figure out, and maybe they were wrong, and it's not what I was trying to say.
Right, and it's not detailed anywhere. So it's not like, go to Ways of the Wolf, page 53, and it's going to show you that... No, it's not.
I mean, I can see why the question's brought up, though.
No,
Say,
it's-
with the packs around some mages or a changeling or something that obviously is not Garu.
Right, won't
And they're
understand.
in Lupus, so...
Right. Another thing you could do, and I don't love social roles. Show,
No.
don't tell, I like to make you guys do it. You could, if someone is speaking the Garu tongue, even 2 other Garu from different regions, make a roll to establish how much of it was understood. Because of the loose nature of the Garu tongue, there could be regional dialect issues.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah, reading the body
Good
language
point.
wrong. Yeah.
different dialect doesn't mean just how you speak. It could be the way it's perceived, and if how you're seeing is different.
Exactly.
Like when we ran into Red Talons and everything that they said seemed like they were so intimidating.
It's just because they
It's their
don't-
dialect.
Yeah, it's the dialect.
Right. Well, I mean, you apply that to the real world. Our word for fanny does not mean the same thing as some of our friends across the pond.
Or as a friend of mine across the pond likes to say, "You stupid Americans, you
Yeah, he did.
bastardized our language."
Case in point, Daniel Tyson, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, Mo, I wish you listened to the show.
So I mean, there's that to keep in mind too.
Yeah, I think it's probably a little easier, and not only easier for you, but probably the rest of the group too, to just go with that instinct that, hey, it's just happening this way.
Yeah, makes.
You can also bring in your body language in game.
Oh, absolutely.
You can give yourself that meaner posture, shoulders hunched. You can definitely change up the way you're talking if you know you're doing it in Lupus.
And that's always encouraged. Again, ring the bell.
Yeah. Even though a lot of the games are over the internet, Discord, and whatever else you guys use, like I was listening to the game, and I know Charybdis does it a lot. His character was very much using Garu tongue, and he would try and speak 1 and 2 word sentences just to get a point across. What do you guys think we should do about this? And you're like, wherever it breeds. And that's all he would say. But that was his way of using the guttural sounds. And I am not very good at imitating Charybdis. I apologize,
Well, to
buddy.
be fair, that is our dear friend Charybdis, and that is actually like most of the English he knows.
Here, I just
Whoa,
apologize
whoa.
to the guy, and then you're... I want to make that real
That was a low
clear,
blow,
Charybdis.
bud.
We love you,
I
buddy.
just apologized for doing that, and then he went and did that. Let's just so we all
Just
know.
make sure you know who did that.
Yeah, who your friends are.
He would be disappointed in me had I
I
not
know.
taken that shot.
That's why I said make sure you know who your friends are.
That is true. He would.
Yeah.
if you
You're
didn't.
like, how could you not have done that?
All right, I think Garu Tongue was kind of a short enough answer to go on to the next one.
Sure.
All right, what about what Garu know about mage, vampire? Pick any of the other World of Darkness.
Well, I like this. I like this question.
Mind you, this is without having those books, right?
Right, it was what do the Garu know?
Okay.
Because, like if you want to throw in vampires or mages or whatever into your chronicle, obviously there's going to be you need to know something.
Sure.
Like, as a storyteller, you need to know something about them, certainly. But then there is what the Garu know. I've mentioned it before, there's a great section in the Revised Storyteller's Companion. That is not the Storyteller's Handbook. They're different things. The
Okay.
Storyteller's Companion came with the screen. Thank you. And it's just a little tiny book. It's like right there. It's actually right there. Like I'm pointing at it.
Yeah, I know.
It's a small book, but one of the coolest things is in it is it's a section on those different Desians of the World of Darkness, and it's what they commonly know about the Garu and what the Garu commonly know about them.
Right.
And something I love about that is the misinformation, the lack of information,
Oh, big time.
and I think that's something to lean into. What do you know about leeches? Well, your experience with leeches, 9 times out of 10, characters vary, situations vary, certainly, is hunting them in the streets. So you know that, they can heal, you know that they can be fast. Do you know about clans? Probably not.
Probably not.
Is there a difference between the Camarilla and the Sabbat? What? What's that mean?
Yeah, what are those two things?
Right. So probably not. Or at the same time, maybe you've heard the word Bruja. Just as vampires have probably heard Shadow Lord or Silver Fang or Get a Fenris.
Yeah, but doesn't
The
mean...
extent of what that means can vary. Opponents aren't stupid. And if you survive a thing, maybe you can put some dots together. But at the same time, knowing that there is a tribe called the Get a Fenris doesn't fucking mean anything to a leech.
Means they still want your blood.
I mean, blah.
Blood. I want your blood.
I never drink wine. No, but I think you want to lean into that misinformation some, because I find that can be interesting. You look at what the...
It adds to mystery.
Yeah, and add a common misconception. Something that's occasionally true. For example, we all know that there's the flaw of forced transformation. So maybe these particular vampires have encountered a forced transformation. One of those situations, like a forced transformation. They only turn at the full moon. And that's all they know.
Because that's the
One
and only they've dealt with kind of thing.
Exactly. Or because the moon was covered, they forced transform it, back into Hamid. And it's like, oh, well, it's tied to the moon. That's bullshit, but if that's your only experience, right? It's something I impressed on you guys during the Guilty, mages eat cairns.
Yes.
Mages eat cairns. They drain the nose from a cairn. They destroy cairns. That's what they do. That's not all that mages do. Some mages do that.
Some do, but
But-
that's what we know.
Exactly.
That's the information that was given to us.
Right.
Yeah.
It's okay that it's inaccurate, because...
No, I think it's cool. I think it adds to the mystery of it, and maybe you eventually learn that whatever you learned at first, maybe you eventually learned it's, hey, this is not what actually happens.
You're right. I think a great example in universe, in the Incarnation, comes from Pentex. The black dog, which, I fucking love to talk about. But Black Dog makes Lycanthrope, the tabletop game. No, we get it. You can stop talking about it. But part of that, and you see it in the meta, you'll go pick up when we Rage 2, and it'll be mentioned that there's werewolves they get hurt by holy water. So there's a story in there where the guy, this kid knows is afraid he's going up against werewolves, and he has a squirt gun full of holy water. Squirts the guy, and the guy's like, oh, you play Lycanthrope, huh? Yeah, I know where you got that. That's not a real thing. But, use that.
what the
Down,
fuck is he
kitty.
doing?
Down.
Right? You take those common tropes or misconceptions, the stake through the heart. Stake through the heart doesn't kill a leech. Doesn't not in the world of darkness. It'll paralyze them. We know that. But why would
Right.
if you have an unexperienced Garu?
Hopefully he's got some garlic.
Well, exactly. It should be garlic and stakes in the heart, and now he's dead because that's what media has taught us. That's the misconception. Run with that.
I think it's a cool idea. I like that one.
I fetished up this garlic necklace.
Why would you fetish it?
I don't know.
Jackass.
So it's more aromatic.
Put a garlic spear in a slingshot.
It's a wind spirit in the garlic necklace to make it more aromatic.
What the fuck?
No, garlic spear in a slingshot.
I like that. You didn't know garlic hurts vampires, according to the media.
And then the
There you
leech
go.
comes around and goes, man, I'm hungry.
Dinner.
Pizza.
Ooh, there's a red sauce.
Oh.
Oh, it took Danny a minute.
One
I'm
slices.
trying not to.
2 slices.
Ah.
I want pizza now.
All right.
No, yeah, now I'm hungry.
That's not bad.
All right, well then I guess kind of maybe the last one.
All right.
We'll see where we go, but how about some advice on building a fetish? I know we had our own fetish episode.
Sure, but
Maybe some advice on building one.
You must say we have a fetish creation episode, yeah.
have fun.
I
Which
think
is
it's the
which is
biggest one.
terrible advice and is not helpful in the slightest.
But it's a big deal.
It is. So, you want to, obviously, spirit item.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing the dance, you're bashing them together like action figures until they're one thing.
Playing
That's
house.
the show.
But,
See you guys later.
See ya. No, I mean, I think it's fun to theorize what you can put together
Oh yeah.
to have that outcome you desire. And it's also easy to go overboard.
Oh, very easily.
That's why you go over it with your ST to make sure it doesn't go overboard.
Right?
Maybe some test runs.
Right?
Sure.
Yeah, recommended that earlier in the episode.
Yeah, but, for sure, the brainstorming on it can be a blast.
You can make anything.
Pretty much.
I remember having someone was asking, like, I kind of want like a fetish weapon, and it was cool. Talking on the Discord for a while, and he just talking about he wants a fetish weapon, and okay, well, what's your character about? He's more of a brawler, so we came up with some kind of like
Brass knuckles.
Brass knuckles.
Oh, yeah, didn't we do the
Yeah.
electric brass knuckles?
Well, that electric brass knuckles is a different character, but we went off that and kind of brainstormed from that. He was looking at like elk antlers.
Oh, that's
Spike
right.
knuckles, yeah, that'd
Yep,
be cool.
that's right.
That was a cool idea, and we just kept going with it. Other people would chime in here. He took other people's ideas and then kind of mashed them all together in his own head and what he came up with.
And there's a lot of ways to make that type of item.
Mm-hmm.
You got the antlers, like you were talking. You've got the electric spirits, like kind of like taser knuckles. You could do like a vine spirit to where it would wrap when activated. It would wrap like like the boxer wraps or whatever, and then there's the thorns on them.
Well, that's a cool idea too.
So you could do a little extra damage, a little maybe extra soak on it. A stone spirit.
Oh shit!
Harden your fist.
Yeah, suddenly your fists are made of rocks.
Ouch!
Add a little extra bashing damage. Downside is maybe it's a time release thing. Like once they're activated for
So long.
yeah, maybe the scene, right? But now you can't. Your hands are stone. You can't unfist. You can't grab a thing because your hands are just fucking stone mitts now.
So make them fair.
Yeah,
Have a downside to it, sure.
If it's grossly overpowered, yeah.
there's a lot of things you can do. Tailing an arrow.
Oh yeah, we went over that. in
You
fetish
can
creation.
go full on
yeah.
Hawkeye.
You could.
What do you want?
Never miss kind of thing.
Well, electric spirit, a water spirit, a fire spirit,
Yeah.
again, vines to tangle somebody,
Napalm.
right?
Fire spirit. Bush league.
yeah, right.
Napalm.
Ooh, someone thought to put an arrow on fire. Congratulations, William Wallace.
Oh, it burns. Here's a glass of water.
But, the combinations are endless. So, I think when you're making the fetish, you want to consider a varied list of spirits.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then use what you know about your character. Would that character use this? Don't just grab something and
Yeah, because you think it sounds because it's right for the person. You could make talons, you get maybe like a skunk spirit involved to fuck up people who are tracking you.
Ooh, that'd be nice, yeah. You have your own little stink bomb.
Right? or some kind of pepper bomb. Awaken like a ghost pepper or something.
I like,
Oh, that would suck.
there. I see what you did there. A ghost pepper.
No, I use that shit in my games. You know, it's not uncommon for someone to have a little pepper bomb they throw on the trail to fuck somebody up so they can get away.
It's a cool idea.
Well, it just makes sense when you're dealing with other Gara with these heightened senses.
Oh, absolutely.
Mace them. Fucking heal. You'll get away.
I want a pepper arrow now.
Not a bad idea.
All very doable.
Oh, yeah. Now we look at my character. Again, one arm, which we haven't mentioned in a while. Yeah, right. But he made his own blade because he's now short on reach. What else are you going to do?
Right? Maybe get one of those flapping, flailing, inflatable tube, inflatable arm guys and just like stitch that to the stump.
Wacky
Fetish
waving
setup.
inflatable.
Yeah.
I have a little mini one of those, by the way.
Let's
It sits
see, we
on my
can-
desk at work.
I'm still waiting for him to fly away.
And you attach it to the stump now and you put like a...
Waiting for me to fly away, huh? Fuck you. I'm not even entertaining it. I know exactly what you're thinking. Go fuck yourself.
Love you, buddy.
Yeah, I bet you do.
At least you made yours. Mine were inherited.
Still came up with them on your own.
No.
No.
Well, okay, you had
Mine
both.
were inherited. I helped
The
with how they
idea.
worked.
That's what I'm talking about. You came up with the idea. I mean, at least you two together.
I mean, fleshing them out, though, that was all Porter, but I came up with how they worked.
Same with mine. And the building it of my own was just part of the story.
But that's the thing. You got to do
Yeah,
that.
you got to
Mine-
do that.
Mine were just handed to me.
Well, again, and we talked about it earlier, but you were on your hiatus, so that was part of the content that was there.
It was, and I think that... But he's got a point because, you know, the creation of the fetish, the steps to go to make it, that's important.
Oh, very much.
You know, the fact that you... your character handcrafted that blade and that the handle was your own bone from that severed arm, you know, that mattered. The blood and the sweat that was poured into that, it was almost like little tributes the whole time. Or you look at the bow that's on the Crimson Ghost has, where I talked about how it was, you know, it was soaked in...
The string, that's the fetish, not the actual bow.
Right, like that's the thing that makes it, but where that came from and how it was treated before it was applied, before you coaxed a spirit to live in there.
Yeah, the significance of it, the fetish itself, yeah.
And I mean, that's important too. And creating a fetish is a lot of fun, but it should also be a lot of work. It should take time in game, even if you're downplaying a little bit, and try not to, because you're robbing the player of the experience and of the gravity of what it means to make it.
Oh, in game, what do we say it was for me? It was like 3 months.
Yeah, in 3 attempts.
In three different attempts. It was a 3-month thing. He has one arm. He's got
Yeah, you can do this with one,
do
one
that
arm.
one arm. Whereas, yes, you have
Man, you only had one more try.
blacksmiths
Fucking
can
nice.
make a knife in a day, a few hours even. So yeah,
It
was-
took you longer. I think my favorite was, the second attempt, where you were so proud of it. And I had Whiplash walk up and go, what about that flaw? What flaw? And he picks up the blade and hits it at an angle and the thing fucking shatters.
Oh.
With that big-ass crack there, stupid.
I'm sad I missed those.
It added flavor to it, added flavor to the story. It added significance of why he's creating it. And it should matter, that it should be perfect. Otherwise, what's the point of it?
Well, and something I'd like to point out is that, the arm was Butchers in the Shadows took that arm.
Yeah.
And he was told to, he took all the finger bones. He
I know.
took the hand bones. Whatever he did with that, that's a fucking mystery. But,
Is it? For us it is, not for
yeah,
you.
right. But he was told to treat the femur, to get that ready to become the handle of the blade. And he refused for a good long while.
Yeah.
Because you didn't deserve it in his mind.
Oh, no,
This is
exactly
good
what I was
fetish
thinking.
material. He doesn't deserve it. And had the bones and just refused to give them up.
Highest of station.
Kind of.
Yeah, these can go somewhere to someone who deserves it and who's earned it. All he did is get his arm fucked off. We should reward that behavior.
You make the blade, you don't make the handle till the last part. You still have the tang of the blade. And that's what I was told, was to make the blade. And eventually, as I was starting to use it and sharpen it, and I would make a handle, but it was just like a tree branch, something I can use to hold it.
Yeah, temporary solution.
Yeah, it was temporary. And it was just because I was told to do it that way. I had a feeling it was going to be the bone, but I'm not going to say that out loud, especially in game.
Right. But I mean, I'm bringing it up to point out that NPCs around you or characters that are helping with the fetish or being coaxed to, or, there can be reactions to that. The same way that if you make a character, and don't make a character that starts with a Grand Clave, but if you have a cub that for some reason starts with a Grand Clave, that is going to catch a lot of negative attention. That's a great way to have a fetish taken from you and you to get really mad about what happens to your character, even though you kind of did that to yourself.
Hope you know clave dueling.
Yeah, that said, if you want something like that, like a Grand Clave, maybe you talk it over with your storyteller that you'll get it eventually, and not walk in as a boot fuck cub with a Grand Clave over your shoulder.
Someone's going to kill you for it.
They should. Someone more capable, at best, just takes it from you to put it to better use.
Clave difference, but Grand Clave.
Yeah. I mean, I went to the extreme there.
Yeah,
certainly.
you went way extreme on that one.
But I mean,
Understandably so,
the
though.
point kind of stands there, though. NPCs here going, well, he doesn't deserve this shit. I'm not going to give him the stuff. I don't care if it was his. It's not his now. He doesn't deserve it.
Unattached.
Right. But then eventually he got it eventually.
Well,
we
yeah,
don't have to talk
obviously,
about the rest
we
of
don't
it.
talk about it. One, it's post-mortem, and two, it's kind of already implied. But
He got the thing.
I had to work for it to get to it.
Yes.
So
That's
that's about it. That's the questions. There were a few others other than Aegis. I know Ghostball had a couple in there.
Thanks, Ghostball.
Yeah, thank you. There were a couple other ones. I forgot who sent them in, so I apologize. But if they were yours, know that we are thanking you for them.
Send your complaints to Daniel Christopher Tyson, 123 Help Street.
Oh, good luck with that. 'Cause
He certainly needs it.
67309.
That's right. That's right.
zip code?
It's a lot of zips. I don't know.
I don't know how it works.
Look,
All right.
just look.
Snail mail, man.
Do you want us to use it? Anyway, so that we're gonna shut yet another drunk drawer.
Shutting another drunk drawer. Got
Stuff it full some more, though, guys.
Yeah.
Just keep sending
That's
stuff
what she
in.
said.
He had to.
Yeah. Well, it's what I was gonna say was worse. So
Oh,
thanks,
good.
Danny.
You're welcome. Saved.
So yeah, no, keep sending stuff in. The more we hear, the more we can do these, and these are fun to do.
Oh, I love the speculation part of these
No.
episodes.
But in the meantime, that is our time for the week.
Boo.
So I know it. But so
Hey, look, good news. We got next week.
Bad news. There's no 3 B's in this one.
The booze.
So on behalf of Daniel Bison, Bommy Dixon, and myself, we want to say, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Thank you for listening, obviously. Keep your claws sharp, your head on a swivel. We'll see you.